next topic is revenue and cost data of learning. So I will give another example from the table 20, page 168. Price, quantity, total revenue, marginal revenue, total cost, marginal cost, and average, and lastly profit. So the price is already given. So the price 100, 95, 90, 85, and 80, and 75. One, two, three, four, five, six. So how to get the total revenue? So the formula of total revenue is profit times quantity. So 100 times 1 equals 100. 95 times 2 equals 190. So 90 times 3 equals 270. And so on. And so how to get the marginal revenue is change total revenue divided by change quantity. So total revenue minus, 100 minus 190 equals 90. So the quantity is from 1 to 2. From 1 to 2, that's the change of 1. So 100 minus 90 divided by 1 equals 90. And the next one is 190 minus 270 is equals to 80. And the 2 and 3 is the change of 1 also. So the answer is 80. So 71, 70, 60, and 50. So let's proceed to total cost. The total cost is, let's say that these are the total cost of producing these different units. So if I produce one unit, the cost of doing should be 30. So let's say 30, and if 2 is 60, 80, 110, 80, 110, 150, and 100. So let's proceed to marginal cost. So how to get the marginal cost? So the formula of marginal cost is change total cost divided by change of quantity. So 30 minus 60 is equals to 30. Then from quantity is 1 is to 2 is the change of 1. So 1 divided by, so 30 divided by 1 is equals to 30. And 60 divided by, 60 minus 80, then from change to 2 to 3 is equals to 1, that's also 20. 20 and so on, 80, 110, and 150. So let's proceed to average. So what to get the average is total cost divided by quantity. So getting number start, so number 4. So number 4 is 4 divided by 110 is equals to 27.50. And the next one is 5 divided by 150 is equals to 30. And the answer of 30. Divide na rin ang quantity o ang total cost is equals to average. Then let's proceed to profit. So the formula of profit is total revenue minus total cost is equals to profit. So PR is 100 minus 30 is equals to 70. And 190 minus 60 is equals to 130. And so on. 130, 190, 30. So these are the formulas for how to get the revenue and cost data about what true monopolies like political data. So that's all my knowledge.
I am Josh Mandiroka and I'm going to discuss about the common misconceptions of monopolistic economy. We all know that monopolistic competition consists of only one seller or producer, and the monopolist will be able to manipulate the price and output sa makabuot siya na. So because of that, many believe nga i-take advantage niya. So ang price ngayang iset is taas, which is very wrong. Kaya nga naman kanang if patasan niya ang price and that price is higher than what the market could bear, kay siya ang malkansi kay gamay rang palit. Siya na gani ang usa nga nag-sell, dili pa gyud mamalit ang mga tao niya because of that price. Entering into monopoly or to become a monopolist, it will cost you so much millions and billions. So if ingon ana man siya, you have to do your best so that the cost that you invested is the same amount as imong ma-receive as your profit so that your business won't suffer loss niya. It will last for a long run. Also, there are firms nga nahimong monopolist because they were awarded by the government with a market franchise. Though nila siya paminawon kay they will receive or be granted with exclusive mga privilege, pero the firm has to agree as well nga ang government will take part sa pag-regulate ng mga certain aspects, for example, sa behavior, sa polisiya, o sa mga price. And if the firm won't be able to obey kanang regulation nga giset sa government, the government has the power or authority para kanang stop ng firm from functioning. So it will be very impossible for the firm na makapadayon. Okay, so let's move on to the size of plant adjustment, which consists of two possibilities. And first is less than most efficient size of plant, and the second is most efficient size of plant. Less than most efficient size of plant means nga market sa monopolist is limited siya to the point where marginal revenue curve casts a long run average curve to the left of its minimum point. As can be seen from the graph, long run profits are maximized at the output at which the long run marginal cost equals marginal revenue. So the monopolist should build the size of plant that will produce that output. This means the short-run average cost curve should be tangent to the long-run average cost at output QM. So any change in the size of plant will decrease the profit. Situations like this happen when the market is not large enough to expand the plant sufficiently to take advantage of all economies of size. Lastly, the size of plant will be considered the most efficient size of plant if the monopolist market and the cost curves are such that the marginal revenue curve hits the minimum point of the long-run average cost curve. The long-run profit maximizing output is QM, at which the long-run marginal costs equal marginal revenue. At this point, the output will necessarily be at which the long-run average cost is minimum. The most efficient size of plant is built where SMC equals LMC equals MR equals SAC equals LAC at output QM. And lastly, in order to find the profit, we have to use equation PC times QM.
So my topic for today is all about price discrimination. Price discrimination is widely practiced in our economy. The sales representative who most communicate important information to the company and advertises to use the more expensive long-distance telephone service. Example na guys ka na, magbukan sa cinema, ang price discrimination like, dili na yung joke-joke sa kanay sa kanang sa concert, di ba? May rent na siya price kung doon ka, mahal. So sa VIP, mahal na siya. Ay, nagano na makita ko din mo ang nag-concert na yun. Sa basuri, nakikon niya sa Gen-Ad, nakikon. O na ang price discrimination na lang. Dahil siya, kanang sayang price kung concert ka. Kaya on ba sa kanang nag-concert na example. So my next topic is regulation of monopoly. So regulation of monopolies involves performing action to prevent or reduce market dominance by a single firm, ensuring fair competition and protecting consumers from abuse such as price gouging and innovation. This can include antitrust laws, price controls, and in some cases, breaking up companies to promote a competitive market environment.
So, hello everybody, my name is Christine Lee Sabas and I'll be your next reporter. So, in my topic, welfare effects of pure monopoly, we can compare two markets, a market characterized by pure competition and a market with pure monopoly. So, di ba, we all know that pure competition from the word itself, nadyo kay competition, not the only one in the market. Whereas, sa pure monopoly is that you are dominating the entire market. Ikaw ra isa, nag-sell ani nga product niya. From a producer's point of view or like kung ato yung tanawon ba is that mas advantage din ang pure monopoly, not only because like now wala kay competitors, you don't really have to like magproblema ba sa imong competition, but like you also have like a considerable control sa price decisions, and with that being said, you can maximize your profits kaya makabuot mo ka yeah. So given these factors, what welfare considerations are in store for the consumers? So, sa short-run output restriction, if all industries were initially purely competitive and were in a long-run equilibrium, monopolization of one or more of them would reduce consumers' welfare. As we have seen in our previous discussion, in pure competition, equilibrium price is reached where price equals cost of production or the lowest point of the average cost curve. So, from what I've understood sa kaning graph, a page before, figure 76, from what I've understood, and sabag-sag mo, akong i-simplify ang interpretation is that mas taas, mas dako o profit ang pure monopoly kaysa sa kanang pure competition. Not only because like wala sila competition ng monopoly, pero kay, di ba, as I've said, na sila kanang control sa price. Tas-on nila ang price, pero gamyon nila ang ilang output. Whereas sa competition, manggod kay ang ilang kuan ba kay stable ra dapat like sa long equilibrium kay stable na siya. So ang ilang cost of production igo jud silang profit. So kanang ang akong like from what I've understood is that kanang sa monopoly manggod is like ilang gamyon tuyo nila gamay or like no, marketing strategy nila ba nga gamyon nila lang output kay mas ma-intimidate ang mga customers na mobile kay limited ra. Although kanang higher price pero di na mag-mine kay, especially if necessity jud siya, di na mag-mine ang higher prices. Like it must have is so like kung magkatag na lang kong example, like sa barangay nga dako kaayo, nya ako ray tubigan like mineral water, nya kay wala may lain, mo koy kwan, mo koy competitor, so pwede ko maghimo og G sa kabukong galon. Nya kung ang price di ba, ang normal price sa galon kay kanang 25 ra jud siya. Ako kay double na ko kung price nya for 10 gallons nya. So like mas mudako jud akong profit kay nadoble akong price nya, gamay ra akong output nya. Like if you compare pud nimo siya sa kanang pure competition kung dapat siya like sa barangay na dagan sila nga water station nya. Although kanang price pero like dili jud siya magkatunga sa akong price kay like ay di siya magkatunga sa akong profit or like in a way ba kay kanang I can change my prices, pero my output would be like lesser compared to sa pure competition nga dapat stable kay dapat raman ang di ba ang price kay equals ra ang cost sa production niya or the lowest point of the average cost curve. Dapat sakto ra ang masakto jud imong profit sa imong cost of production. So, moving on sa inefficiency of a firm, in addition to the welfare impact of output restriction, the monopolistic firm ordinarily will not use resources at their peak potential efficiency. The purely competitive firm in long-run equilibrium uses the most efficient size of plant at the most efficient rate of the output. The size of plant and the output that maximize the monopolist's long-run profits are not necessarily the most efficient ones. So, from what I've understood is that kanang sa monopoly is that kung i-compare nimo sa pure competition, they don't really have to like exert much effort kaysa sa pure monopoly, though they can afford to make larger scales, but like sa ilang strategy niya kanang sa ilang they don't really kanang in a way pud ba di ra pud efficient sa ila kay kanang to simply put it, if mag larger scale pud sila, mas mo consider mo gyapon kag cost consideration, and it would cost them like a lot jud pud to put it like in a larger scale. So that is siya standard unya kay like there are a lot of reasons for like first one being lack of competition nya ilang strategy nga kanang gamyon nila ilang outputs to kanang maximize their profit nya lang tong cost consideration unya kanang market demand kay dili man jud pa kuan kanang di jud siya ingon pud ba nga siguro in other kuan dili siya ingon nga very demand na kanang ma-demand yun mo siya, di siya ingon makuan din sa market. Whereas sa kaning sa pure competition man god is that kanang you really have to make use of everything like sa imong resources. Di kay murag makansi magud ka kung like kanang ang imong dili mo ma-use o kanang tarong imong mga kuan ba imong mga equipments for example kaning sa maghimo ko ay kanang naay kanang two classmates nga magbaligyag machine. Ang isa ka magamit siya mga mixer, mga kuan jud ba technology na ang isa ka mag handmade ra sa kuan man god sa mga mixers and all that kay although kuan siya kanang efficient siya in a way kay dili siya time consuming ba dali ra siya nya kanang marag you can put your like ingredients like inakuan na jud ba like mas standard jud mo kuan ba whereas kaning sa handmade kay kanang although na siya pagka time consuming pero matansya man nimo nya if imo jung kung kuan ba na even though you're using the best equipments there that doesn't mean nga nindot ang quality like kanang mas lami ba kinsa mas kuan mas favorable when it comes to taste kay kung sa handmade matansya nimong taste kaning sa kanang mga nagamit na sa mga machines is that na siya kuan ba standard galing nga taste levels tali nya so ang mga customers, mas mupili jud sila dito sa best quality. Bisag same sila price, pero of course, same naman sila price, dito jud ko sa mas nindot. Ngita jud og nindot ng mga tao. Nya, for like, so like, sa kuan po is that, sa pure competition, they use like resources efficiently jud, di ba? As I said, efficiently jud to make their customers happy. Whereas sa pure monopoly, they don't really care kay in demand jud po siya in his own kuan way. Yeah. So like, sa kuan po, you can only compare the efficiency of monopoly to PC to like pure competition when pure competition is existing. Dili man imo ma-compare jud pod ang pure monopoly ko. Siya ra ba sa isa ka market so there mo nang siya ra palit mo na siya kay wala man siya lain comparison. Whereas sa pure competitive like naman siya lain mga resellers so anang ma-compare jud siya. So wala dili nimo ma-compare how efficient ang monopoly is without pure competition in the market. So, moving on to sales promotion, it may be the advantage to the monopolist entities to engage in sales promotion activities of this kind. So, like, bisan pag ikaw ra ang like the only existing product in the market, na jud gyapon advantage kung mag-sales promotion ka go. Dili jud need na kanang presa, pure competition ba nga kanang mag-hire jud og mga kuan kay i-advertise ilang product sa pure monopoly. Lahi jud silang objectives kay sa pure monopoly side kay they are promoting their product to to gain more loyalty or ganang to make it more pleasing ba mas mo trust ang mga tao sa kanang product niya to enlarge their market tali. So when we say kanang mas mo trust ang mga tao sa ila is that kung moingon mo tan-aw mo gutag kanang like akong may example ani is kato akong na-watch nga advertisement sa Manila Waters kanang sa water good nga tubig nila ligo or something like that kay kanang mag-advertise kay ngano kailangan pa man sila mag-advertise kung necessity man siya na alam man jud siya is that makabantay po ko is that kanang people would be like more mas ma-incline sila ba na maloyal sila kay nakagamit na sila niya mas nindot gani or kanang wala man pud sila comparison so nindot na lang jud pud siya niya nang the thing is that sa pure monopoly is kanang it doesn't also help with kanang like people trusting kay of course na naman ang loyalty ana maka-help pud siya to shield his company from competitors na mo plan po to enter that kind of market like ang kuan mo gud pod ang one of the objectives aning sales promotion is like to closely tie this your product to like the name like the reputation kay hunahuna man ang mga competitors na wala mo lisod man kanang mo enter aning market kay nana jud well known ba reputable kay nga nindot na so like dako na murag kung lisod na kag kuan profit ana kay nana may daan na mas nila pili naman ato mga tawo dito man like their loyalty relies there like dito na sila na magloyal ba so like activities may be used to shield them like that nga shield na sa imong kuan so all of these sales promotion imply costs to the company. The welfare effects of all the efforts will inevitably be reflected in the additional cost to the company, which will ultimately be passed on to the consumers in the form of higher prices. So, like, bad news to siya. I mean, in a way, guro, or like, I find it like kind of funny nga kanang ang mga sales, mga nga na bang, although dili jud kailangan jud na i-promote kay mara kung sa necessity pa siya like mga electric bills ay mga electric companies or like mga water water company is that kanang di siya need pero kailangan gyud siya i-promote like kay bulong mobalik ra magud sa ato mga consumers ang ang cost nila ba kay with higher prices gani kay of course mobayad man ka magpa-billboard, mobayad man ka magpa-advertise. So like mas kung mo tanaw ng billboard bang hello bitaw na rin mas mo kuan ng tao mas mo kuan jud mo pay jud sila ba with higher prices kay kuan man kanang ang trust ba niya ang like makuha niyo nga integrity ni nga company kay very strong so like mas mo kuan sila mas mo in a way guro mo gara sila ba nga kanang padako na nun nilang prices like even though you didn't really need to advertise it for that sake like in a way mo na ko ingon nga ma-change nila ilang price mo nang mudako murag mobalik ka sa ato jud mobalik ka sa ato sila murag kita ang gabayad sa ilang advertisement so that is the end of my report.
Well, hello everyone, I am Cyril Shah Sanggutan and I will be talking about monopolies in the Philippines setting. Alright, so we've had bad situations with big companies having too much control in the Philippines. People are upset about these companies mistreating customers. People and groups are pushing these companies to care more about the people's well-being, not just making lots of money. We're clearly moving away from having everything controlled by a few big companies and strict rules. We're making changes to loosen up the rules in the coconut industry, for example, like letting all coconut oil producers sell their stuff abroad. We tried having most things controlled by the government, especially during a time of strict rule, but it did not really end well or it did not really help us. That's why we're going back to supporting businesses running on their own without too much government intervention or control, which is called free enterprise. So we all know free enterprise, also known as a free market economy or capitalism, is an economic system where individuals and businesses have the freedom to own property, produce goods and services, and engage in voluntary exchanges of goods and services in the marketplace without significant government intervention or regulation. But even when things are going smoothly, we face issues with big companies having all the control, especially in areas where it seemed necessary or reasonable, like utilities such as electricity and water and power. So having one company in charge is okay, as long as they remember that their job is to serve the public and why they were given that special permission to operate. So let's say, for example, in the telecommunication industry in the Philippines, were actually dominated before by a duopoly, which is PLDT and Globe. This led to high prices, poor service quality, and limited options for the consumers. In the power sector industry, we have Meralco, which is covering the whole Metro Manila and nearby provinces. These businesses are public utilities. And as we all know, public utilities are very important because these are businesses that provide essential services to the community, like electricity and water. They're given special permission to be the only ones providing these services so they can make money and keep running. However, because they have the power to actually control these important services, they should not deny people for these very important everyday needs. They should not use that power unfairly or misuse that power or take advantage of people. Because many times a housewife has been cut off from electricity, water, or phone service even when she promised to pay later and ask for more time to get the money. I know we have experienced this ourselves or have known someone. So in the end, it's likely the managers who should be blamed for sticking to a policy that ignores serving the public and focuses too much on making money, even if it means being harsh, which leads to people not trusting them and feeling angry. So first advantage of having monopolies in the Philippines is they can actually save money because they make a lot of stuff, which might mean cheaper prices for customers or for us or for the consumers. However, the downside of this is companies can charge more because there's no one else selling the same thing but only them. So another advantage of monopolies, they might have more money to spend on new ideas and making things better, which can lead to new inventions and improvements in their industries. The downside of this is they might not feel as motivated to make their products better or come up with new ideas or new inventions if they don't have anyone else to compete with. if they don't have any competition, why bother? So which could make things stay the same in their industries. So last but not the least, Villar bill goes after monopolies. So Senator Manny Villar is seeking approval of a bill called the Competition Act of 2012 to create an office for competition under the Department of Justice. This office would investigate possible monopolies and cartels harming the consumers. The bill aims to prevent market concentration in a few firms and protect consumers and businesses from unfair trade practices and high prices. It would penalize firms that abuse their dominant market position through anti-competitive behavior. Approval of this bill could really help increase market fairness and the country's economic status. So the government and Department of Trade and Industry must ensure all firms follow the bill to promote fair prices and inclusive supply for small and large businesses.